My biggest daily problems is that on my wife's disability. She has severe disabilities, and it also means that she's totally paralysed from the waist down. We managed to get a ground floor disabled modificated flat from the council about 2 years ago, because prior to that we lived in a house in Batley, and my wife was having to climb on her hands and knees upstairs to get to the toilet. The council saw this as being demoralising and obviously not pleasant, and awarded us this flat in West Town where we live now, where we are very, very, very happy. We've had this problem for about 1985 when the accident happened. It was a sneeze, believe it or not. She sneezed, and because of the way she sneezed, she was in a car, and it still come from this big sneeze, which has been going on now for 29 years. Yeah, so it's not been a bunch of roses, believe me, it's been hard work. But we're still together. We've been married 40 years now. We actually went to school together. I met Anne when we were 8 years old, and we're now both 60. The reason why we're here now is a very, very, very long story. Originally, my wife's condition got worse about 2 years ago, just less than 2 years ago, to the extent where I had to pack in work. I was originally a bus driver for Arriva in Heckmondwike. Loved the job, was getting on there very well, been there for 9 years. And Anne's condition became that she needed almost constant 24/7 care. So I had to leave. I've got a brain, and I didn't like sitting around being a vegetable. And all I was doing was just caring for Anne. It's a full-time job, don't get me wrong. But my brain wasn't being used. So I looked at the possibility of becoming a college student, and went to Kirklees College in Dewsbury with the idea of doing a GMVQ in computing. Spoke to the tutors there, who said that I was too clever and that my level of knowledge on a DMVQ would be wasted, and suggested that I did a degree. The idea was that I did a 2-year degree, and after talking with the careers staff at Kirklees, the idea sounded good, because what would happen, I would do a degree, become a remote repair service engineer, whereby I could access your computer via the internet and repair any software issues without actually having to come out and fix your computer. Which meant, of course, that I could be gainfully employed and still care for my wife, which was what I wanted to do. Get off the benefits system. I don't like benefits. I hate benefits. I've not had benefits for years and years and years until 2 years ago, when Anne's condition became worse and I had no choice. I don't like benefits. I like to work for my money. I'm an old-fashioned sort of guy, and it's not just the money, it's the pride of going out to work and physically being out there and being the breadwinner. So because I was on benefits, I contacted the benefits helpline, explained to them what I wanted to do, what benefits I was on, and over the telephone some guy in Newcastle said, "Good idea, nice one, go for it." So I did. I went to the college, I got in, I got a place at Kirklees College and started doing this course on systems and networking. I then got a telephone call from DWP about November, December time last year, asking me to do a benefit check. And they said, "Are you getting any other income?" And I said, "Yeah, I've got my student loan." Oh. Then came out, they stopped my benefits, all of my benefits, because as a carer, I'm not allowed to do a 12-hour course. However, if I was working in Tesco's, I can work 21 hours a week as a carer, and it doesn't affect my benefits. The government say, for whatever reason, and I still can't find an answer to it, that as a student, I can't be a carer. So I had to pack in my course, a course that I was getting straight A's in, and was forecasting for getting a first. And that hurt a lot. My dream was gone. What happened? Then more weight was put on our shoulders. The DWP wrote to us saying they were going to take £31 a week off our benefits to pay back the money that I had had while I was a student. It was about a fifth of our, to about 15-20% of our income, which was a lot of money, a lot of money. It meant that we had to totally change our lifestyles completely because they want this money back, and there is no right of appeal when you've been classed as overpaid. They dictate how much you have to pay back. So that happened. Then along came this government that nobody's elected. Nobody wanted a Tory government, nobody wanted a Liberal government, nobody wanted a Labour government. Unfortunately, they got together, and it's an immoral situation that we are now being legislated to by people that we did not elect. However, they realised that there was a lot of money going out of the system in the way of housing benefits. And they looked at the idea of maybe people that have too many bedrooms should maybe pay for this bedroom. So the government then told the council to implement what is called an under occupancy charge, commonly known as a bedroom tax. As a married couple, we are entitled to one bedroom. Doesn't matter the fact that Anne's condition is such that in times her pain level is so high that by me simply being on the same mattress as her causes her excruciating pain, and that neither of us can get any sleep. And then bear in mind that the next day I have to be awake and able to look after her without sleep. So I sometimes sleep on a camping cot in a spare bedroom. A spare bedroom that has fridges in it because the kitchen in our flat is so small that we can't get a fridge in the kitchen. But we're okay with that. We can live with the fridges in a spare bedroom if we're allowed to stay in the flat. Now, the government are not saying that I have to leave this flat. The government are saying I have to pay £9.44 a week to stay in this flat. And with having to pay back £30 a week to the DWP for a debt that they told me that I could run up by saying that I could go to college, it's not doable. We just physically cannot pay. We work on a 28-day schedule because Anne gets her disability living allowance every 28 days. So we work on a 4 7-day week rota. Every 28 days we have £1.23 left to spend on luxuries. Luxuries. Doesn't happen. Our luxury is we have the internet at home and we go on and play games online. That's our entertainment. That's it. And I just want to find out why the government can set up a legislation where there is no right of appeal. Had I been convicted of murder, I would have been able to go to the High Court and appeal against that conviction. As an elderly married couple in a 2-bedroom flat, I have no right of appeal to say why I need the second bedroom. No one will even listen to the fact that we actually use the second bedroom for me to sleep in when Anne is in pain. It upsets me because of what's happened to us in the past, but it angers me that people can just rule your lives without looking at exactly what's happening in your life. Somebody has to look at this legislation and realise just how immoral this legislation is, and at least allow people to have the right to say, hang on a minute, this is the reason why I need my second bedroom.